In the old days, when we used to coordinate all the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing trades, we used to sit around the table with a light table and tracing paper.
You would almost go blind looking through these layers of shop drawings to try to see how they clashed up. And it was the best way to do it at the time.
It was a very challenging process before, where you had to look at a two-dimensional project, almost close your eyes, and visualize what that looked like in 3 dimensions.
You know, they say, pictures are worth 1,000 words, a BIM model is worth 1,000,000 words.
BIM's a game changer. It's the future. It's where everybody's going.
The old ways, trust me, they're gone. They're gone. You have some people that they're kind of fight it, but if you sit down and really look at the power of it and how it will make your life a lot easier.
The biggest thing that I see that BIM made more efficient around here is you're not doing things twice.
I see the quality of BIM in being able to put together a complicated layering of systems like we see in the corridor here, and being able to do it right the first time with no problems, with no rework, with no loss in time.
I think the days of figuring it out as you go along are becoming less and less. To me as a superintendent, that is huge.
So BIM's a great problem-solving tool. It allows us to visualize the conflicts in 3D, as well as gives us the ability to move things around and identify possible solutions to the problems that we find.
We're finding the problems in front of a computer screen. It's a lot easier to fix something on a computer screen than it is to fix something 20, 30, 50 feet in the air. Not only does it save time, but also saves a lot of money, a lot of frustration and headache from people.
There's nothing more frustrating than standing in the field in a group, staring at the issue going, why didn't anyone see this?
It avoids all the hot RFIs, all the heated issues in the field. It allows us to foretake those issues before the construction phase.
I think you're able to protect your schedule and protect your budget. That's what BIM is about.
And that's the quality aspect, where you look up and you see something that doesn't look right. And everybody comes together with their little iPads and say, you're right. I should be over 6 inches because the next guy, and there's no argument.
Because the answer is right there on the screen. We know immediately who needs to move and who's in the right place.
When and if we have an issue, I don't have to spend hours explaining what the problem is to a subcontractor. I can bring them in the office, I can put it up on a monitor, and in about 35 seconds I can show them what the issue is. It sounds simple, but given that process hundreds and hundreds of times over the course of a job, the value to me is immeasurable.
That communication effort is easier. It's easier to make decisions, easier to solve problems.
The beauty of BIM to me is that it takes several diverse industries and it allows them to speak in a common language.
When those various disciplines are put into that 3-dimensional environment and forced to interact with each other in that 3-dimensional space, things pop out pretty quick.
I think it's changing the idea within design and construction of this kind of information grenade, right? Where I develop my information, I throw it over the fence, and good luck, use it at your own risk.
Prior to BIM, when we would collaborate, it would be me talking to a subcontractor. I would take what the subcontractors say, I would then have to change that into something that the designer would understand, then I'd have to change that into something that the owner would understand. But now we have one platform that everybody understands.
We've implemented it in the past where BIM is a great tool not only for the tech-savvy personnel, it also works with your day-to-day labor.
So when you sit down with your design team or your subcontractors, your foreman, from the lowest guy to the highest guy, you have a clear-cut picture to look at in terms of problem solving. I cannot understate how valuable that is.
You can actually see what you're building before you build it. I think that's just an awesome thing.
When you're looking at a set of plans, you're looking at a piece of paper in 2 dimensions. And often it's difficult to visualize what you're building. And some people have 3-dimensional minds, other people don't.
When we get into a tough situation, we look at complicated detail. We don't have to imagine that everybody in the room is visualizing the same thing.
I think that BIM has been able to allow us to clearly convey to our owners what they're getting and to ensure that we're meeting their expectations before we get in the field and start building.
The model is a great way for them to kind of explain exactly what we're doing, and how many times as I've taken an owner through a model, they'll be like, I had no idea.
That doesn't happen as much anymore with BIM. We can now get owners that don't necessarily understand 2-dimensional drawings and get them in a model, and they'll see exactly what they're going to get.
And with BIM, with changes, it helps you with that as well. When the owner wants to make a change, subcontractor goes back and look at the model. Can we make that change? What we have to change? All those things are like at your fingertips.
I really feel that O'Neill has been on the forefront of the BIM process.
We can adapt to any situation. You know, we love when we're given a model from the design team, but when that doesn't occur, you know, we know how to deal with it, whether it's creating our own point cloud scan or creating a model from scratch.
We have an incredible BIM department at O'Neill. It's a resource that's shared and used with all of our offices around the country.
We're able to take advantage of lessons learned or problems encountered, problems solved on different projects for different architects or for different owners.
So that we never make the same mistake twice, so we understand how BIM can be a useful tool on one project and what that project learned and how can we benefit from their past experience.
It goes beyond just BIM, it's the whole technology package that O'Neill has.
Our BIM coordinators are on site. We provide training to our engineers, our project managers, our supers to make sure everyone's familiar and comfortable with the BIM technology.
BIM really requires a great collaboration.
By having this model be the collaborative center for problem solving, it helps us get to answers faster.
I think on BIM projects there's a sense of camaraderie.
That relationship building, it's the heartbeat for O'Neill Construction. It really is.
The team's just more cohesive when you're in a BIM environment because everyone feels vested in the project because they're putting so much effort in it up front.
It's just a change in the stride of a person coming into the office they're going to the BIM meeting as opposed to going to the BIM meeting.
You know, I think in general, human nature is that when people understand a problem, you know, they're apt to try and solve it.
The key thing with BIM is that you catch it prior to, you make yourself more efficient, you make the jobs run smoother, and you reduce extras.
So really with the O'Neill culture and using BIM the way that we do, it's really become a must. There's really not going to be options of not using it in the future, only because once you get a taste of it, you never want to go back.